Talk. What's cracking? Yo, from this weekend, man, I watched this weekend's Cleveland Browns practice. We're going to follow Shedeur wherever he goes, man. I'm a Raiders fan. I wish that Raiders would have got him. Uh, we didn't. We passed up on him, and not happy with that. Um, I watched all his games. I even went to the game where he was at Jackson State and he played against Alabama A&M. And he was lighting amazing. And people want to discredit him because he played at Jackson State, bro. Cam Ward played at Incarnate Word and was the number one draft pick. Y'all need to stop that, okay? And then he went on to Washington State, and then he went on to Miami where he was able to shine even more, okay? And he was a zero star. You trying to tell me that Shedeur Sanders, and I'm not taking away from Dillion Gabriel. Dillion Gabriel did amazing. He did have that interception. He did have some drop passes, right? But guys like Tony Grossi from ESPN Cleveland, right? They want to discredit Shedeur because he threw a little wobbler that still looked like it was a first down, and it was caught. It was caught. It wasn't like he threw a wobbler and then it went out of bounds or something like that. And he did have a couple of missed throws, but other than that, he was throwing missiles, touchdowns. Why y'all didn't show no videos? See, this is what I'm saying. Why you guys didn't show no videos of Dillion Gabriel throwing touchdowns like that? Because he didn't. He didn't. We all saw this. Everybody's seen this. And, they're trying to downplay what Shedeur did this weekend. And I'm like, nah, dog. Y'all not fooling me. We all saw what we saw. We all saw what we saw. And so I'm just looking at it like it was touchdown. Touchdown to Florora. Shedeur throwing to him got that boy a contract. Got him a contract. Because Shedeur was throwing right on the money. On the money. And I don't see what Tony Grossi was talking about. At all. At all. Because we saw an interception by Dillion Gabriel to the middle, to Schlesinger. So there was no interception thrown by Shedeur. Not that we know of. If they did, they would have posted that. They would have posted that if he would have threw an interception. Come on now. We ain't stupid. The fan base ain't stupid. And now Cleveland Browns got even a bigger fan base with Shedeur. Because Shedeur already had a following for years. He's got years and years of followers because his dad decided to document everything they do from when he was a kid to now. And that's why Shedeur has a fan base. Y'all telling Shedeur to, don't, can you please not bring the cameras and all this stuff and market your brand? He don't have to. He got a team that does it for him. He is supported by Nike. So, as well, he is branded by Nike. He ain't got to do nothing but go out there and sell himself to the public that he's the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. And he's doing that by showing his skills in that mini camp. You saw the energy of them players. You saw the energy. Was the same energy for Dillion Gabriel? I don't know. There was no video footage of it. But we did see video footage of other players coming up to Shedeur. Now, there's still a lot of football practices left through the summer, May, June, and then the season start for in August, and they got those practices before that. So we'll see. But right now, Shedeur Sanders look like the better product of the two. Now, I'm not taking nothing from Dillion Gabriel because I saw some good passes from him as well. This is not a war against Dillion Gabriel. Dillion Gabriel just happened to be in the middle of it because he's a good quarterback. Shedeur's battling him. It's a battle, a peaceful battle, not a battle where they're going to be talking smack to each other, talking crazy, I'm going to take your job type crap like that. No, it's not like that. But some people are making it out like that. But what I've seen so far in the videos, now does he still got to work on a few things? He's going to correct those things. They think he can't play under center. He can't play under center. What? He could do it. He can do it. He played under center at Jackson State a little bit. Not very much, but he did a little. So, and people want to talk about it was a drop, like fumble when the center hiked the ball. Okay, mistakes is gonna happen. It happens in games. Okay, and yes, do people throw interception in games? Yes, they do. Shedeur Sanders have thrown interceptions in the game. We know this. Matter of fact, it was three different games where he threw a first beginning of the game, he throws an interception. But then he comes back and recovers, and he would just accurate, boom, missile after missile after missile after missile after missile. The only one where he threw an interception was that Nebraska game, where he struggled. They struggled. The offense struggled. They couldn't move the ball. But we also know the referees had a lot to play in that game, and they were in Nebraska. What happened the year before against Nebraska? They put 30 piece on them. So, come on now. Folks is tripping. We see what we see, man. And we know that he was the better quarterback this weekend. We're not saying that he's going to start or anything like that, but he's got a great chance of starting if he keep it up like that. And I think he's going to go surpass what he just did. He's going to surpass that. And it's just practice right now. And he's doing this in practice, throwing missiles. So, we just got waited out. And once the team, the coaches and all that determine who's going to be the starter, which everybody's saying that he will not be the starter week 1. We don't know that. If he keeps staying accurate the way he's being accurate, he will be the starter week 1. And that little contract that they signed, he'll make that back up with Nike and in his endorsements. The kid is finna get, if he becomes the starting quarterback, and right now I think he's the number 1 selling jersey out of the rookies. So over Travis Hunter and Cam Ward now. So with him going around through Cleveland and going to the schools, dog, you know what type of that's dog. That's them that's them marketing, right? For their merch, all of that. So the more he goes out to the public, the more merchandise he sells. You don't hear Dillion Gabriel going to the schools and stuff like Shedeur Sanders. Man, them kids was acting crazy when he came to their school. So, man, that's all I gotta say, man. I just wanted to say this because it's like, man, people are tripping that if Shedeur didn't, nobody seen that what we saw was that he outdid Dillion Gabriel. And nothing taken away from Dillion Gabriel, because Dillion Gabriel looked good too. Not taking nothing from him. He looked accurate than a mug, right? But he threw that interception. And nobody wants to talk about it. None of them Cleveland channels want to say that. They don't want to admit that. They like, oh, that didn't count. And it did. Because we all saw it. It's all on social media. Every platform. You definitely can see it on TikTok and Instagram. Everybody see it. I got copies of the video. So we know. We seen. We analyzed it. And right now, Shedeur Sanders is up 1-0. Or maybe I would say 2 or 3-0. 3-0. Because it was 3 days. 3-0. And that's with Dillion Gabriel getting the start a week, what they call the start of the mini camp. But nobody cares. Nobody cares. They just want to see how accurate he is. And he was that in a bag of chips. All right, y'all. Y'all hit that notification button, like and subscribe to the channel, man, and check me out also on X, Coach Cali Sports Talk, and everything like that. All right, till the next time, deuces.